Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Vimanandi.
Hare Krishna. We can do better than that. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Want to thank everyone for coming out this evening, especially it being a weeknight. I'm very happy to see so many devotees out tonight. And I want to give a special warm welcome to His Grace Radhe Shyam Prabhu, to ISKCON of Harrisburg. We are very happy that you could squeeze us in, Prabhu, in your tight schedule. I know that you have a very tight schedule, but I'm grateful. We are all grateful. And we hope to hear a lot from you tonight. Just to give devotees a short introduction, and I'm going to read it because this Kali Yuga mind doesn't have a very good, memory power, that the RAM is running low, so I will read it if you can please tolerate. So, Radhe Shyam Prabhu graduated from a Preman College of India. While studying, he got in contact with ISKCON while he was in college. And he got attracted very strongly to bhakti. And after graduation, him and Gauranga Prabhu joined ISKCON Mumbai and started preaching Radhe Shyam Prabhu is pioneer in the youth preaching, and that's why he's here today. He's going to speak to us spirituality for the modern youth, and he created a lot of wonderful preaching programs for youth, like Discover Yourself, Nishtha, Ashraya, where the youth is trained to balance spiritual life and material life together. What we call, in America, they call it the double life standard. So he's going to help all of you to how to get out of the double life and still balance it with a single life somehow. So, he created a very nice counseling system so that every devotee is taken care of and directed perfectly on the path of bhakti. Today, the temple is very strong, has very wonderful devotees, very committed, excited about youth preaching. And recently, the temple has started serving prasadam for 200 devotees after morning Bhagavatam class, not Sunday feast. So that shows the importance of attending Bhagavatam class. We've heard Srila Prabhupada says, and from our seniors, that the morning class and the evening class in between is a sandwich program. So imagine having 200 devotees in the morning classes for Bhagavatam and having them for breakfast. That's a wonderful day to start any day. And when Prabhu introduces any proper disciples, he says a short introduction of the disciple, and short means 15 minutes. That is how much he glorifies and respects and honors proper disciples. We have a lot to learn from him. I'm very happy he's here. Well, let's give another warm welcome, and he can continue the class. Hare Krishna. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. You have Mridanga? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Pradadana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanatari. Yamuna Tiravanatari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanatari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, समावेत भक्त वृंद की, कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। So thank you for the opportunity. Her Grace Anasuya Mataji, Mathura Leela Shri Mataji, and also Dear Krishna Prabhu. I met them all today. They were telling about the glories of our community here, and especially the youths here. Very happy to be here with all of you this evening. I'm coming for the first time. I've heard about all of you from various devotees. And she had given me a topic, spirituality for the modern youth. Very important, very interesting topic. I go to many of the universities, both in India and in America also. One of my favorite topics I speak is about the mind. Because in Gita, Lord Krishna says that if you have managed your mind, you are like a king of the whole world. If I have failed to manage my mind, the mind will make me a slave and I will suffer. Within the mind resides so many good things as well as bad things. There is an angel within us, there is an animal within us. The instinctive drive or the push, the animal instincts that the mind gives, has led many people to great ruin. One example I'll tell you, there are so many stories, but one story comes to my mind. How even if somebody is very mighty and very powerful, no matter how great one be, if one becomes a victim of pride, how one can suffer. I heard from a story. Once upon a time, an elephant was walking on the road and ants were crawling and crossing the road. See, ants, you all know, they go in a row. You have seen that? Thousands of ants were going, but they were all going in a row smoothly. The elephant looked at them and started pounding on them. Like that, he started pounding on them with his big feet. So the ant said, hey, the leader of the ant came forward and said, God has given you a big body and big legs, we agree. That doesn't mean you exploit us like this. And the elephant laughed at them and said, hey, look at you guys, how tiny you are, how big I am. So the ants understood that he is very arrogant. Immediately the leader ant announced a curfew. All the ants rushed into the holes. So they all ran into the holes. Few of them died. So the leader ant told the elephant, wait and watch. One day we can give you trouble. And the elephant said, you tiny guys, how can you give trouble to such a big fellow like me? Anyway, a week later, the leader ant entered into the ears of the elephant when it was sleeping. And after going inside, it started biting. So immediately the elephant got up. He wanted to get rid of that biting fellow. He didn't know who it was. He waved his ears very fastly. Yeah. Still, it was not coming out, the ant. The elephant got up and started running in the street. But then he made a sound. And all the people saw the elephant doesn't look normal. He's gone berserk. Then immediately the news reached the king. King said, oh, if the elephant has gone mad, shoot him. Shot him. So just imagine how such a big creature, elephant, was killed by one tiny ant. So one may be a very big person, but no matter how big we are, if we become a victim of false pride, then even something trivial as an ant can finish a person. You can see that. So definitely in youth, our minds are extremely energetic and powerful. But let me tell you, there are two types of energy you all have heard. There is kinetic energy, there is potential energy, isn't it? Now, let me ask you a question. Flood and the dam, which has energy out of the two? Somebody said dam has the energy, okay. Anybody else? Both have energy, but the flood has destructive energy and dam has conserved energy. So you can make your mind like a dam or like a flood. One doctor says when you become extremely angry, any of you have an experience of becoming extremely angry. Especially we become angry when, recently I made an acronym, when all I become angry. I wrote down, I was making a calculation. Whichever occasions I become angry, I will note down so that I don't become angry next time. We learn a lesson. So I made a very simple acronym for myself. You can easily remember it. CEOIF. You can remember. If I am CEO, you can remember like that. CEOIF. C means, when you try to control somebody and you are not able to control them, you become angry. Like Hiranyakashipu, tried to control whom? Prahlad. Could he control? He couldn't. So he became angry. So when we try to control some situation or some people we cannot control, we become angry. Second one is E is expectations. You have some expectation from somebody and they didn't give it, so you become very angry. For example, you did some very nice thing in the school or college and they are reading out some 5-6 names of people and your name is missed out. You become very angry on the announcer. And then after the event is over, you go up and say, hey, I think you purposefully missed out my name. I think you are envious of me. And they say, no, I'm sorry. Somehow your name got slipped out, this and that, they say. And then you pick up a fight. Why? Because we had an expectation. When our expectation is not met, we become very angry also. And O stands for opinion. Like if our opinion is discarded, we become really angry. I had one senior in Bombay temple, Chowpatty temple. So he was teaching me a very good lesson in the early days. He said, when you are sitting in a meeting, 5-6 of us. So I saw him, what he did. So one devotee gave an opinion. And then he told this devotee, my dear devotee, I love you very much. And your opinion is 1 feet away from your body and I am going to shoot that opinion. So I am not shooting you, I am shooting down your opinion, but I love you very much. So that devotee took it in a good spirit. Because whenever our opinions are not accepted, we become angry. So some people even walk out of the meeting also. Oh, you guys didn't listen to my opinion? I'm walking out. So everybody has their opinion. So is it good to have opinion or not? What do you think? Because if you have opinion, you become angry. So should we give up all opinions? We can have opinion and be detached. Give our opinion and be detached. Then we won't be angry. I was given a chance to express my heart. I have expressed it. So whether they accept or not, it is ultimately God's will. So then you won't become angry. So how many I have told you? C for controlling. E for expectation. O for opinion. And I for if somebody insults us, we become very angry. How can he insult me? See, if you tell somebody, see, you are a little thin, I think you are not eating well, please eat well, they will definitely agree. Yes. I will go to your dietitian and eat well, I will become very healthy, they will say. So, but if you tell a person you are not very intelligent, hey, who said I am not intelligent? That they cannot take it. You have seen that? Nobody in this world, even a fool doesn't agree that he is not intelligent. You will see that. So, if somebody insults us, we just cannot take it. One time my spiritual master said an amazing thing in a lecture I heard. He said, if somebody says you are small, why do you get offended? The soul is only 1/10,000th of the tip of the hair. You are anyway small only. If they say you are small, they are telling the truth. Then why to feel bad? Why to feel insulted? I thought that's wonderful. That never occurred to me at all. So if somebody insults us, we don't have to become extremely angry. We can check whether is there any element of truth in what they say. Yeah. And the last one, F, stands for when we are frustrated, we become angry. When we are frustrated in our attempts to do something, you repeatedly try. Sometimes people, like you say, you want 2 extra gulab jamuns. You ask in the main front door, they are not giving. You go in the back door and ask, there also they are not giving. You ask from the window, they are not giving. Then you get frustrated. When you try in different angles to get something done, it doesn't happen, you get frustrated. So these are 5 situations I saw that I become angry. So nowadays over a period of time I learned that if I am put in the situations, I should prepare myself mentally. Train my mind not to become angry. So why I am telling you, because if you become excessively angry, that doctor says it's equivalent to losing the energy that is necessary for running 5 miles distance. That much energy you lose by becoming angry, he says. That means it is a destruction of energy. You agree? The mind is releasing energy like a flood. Can a flood do any good? Can a flood do any good? Flood carries away the cattle. The flood kills the people. It destroys the houses. But dam can do good. Dam is conserved energy. So in youth, if we all can know the art of conserving our mental energy, then we would be very powerful. Because ultimately we all have 24 hours only in hand. In the 24 hours, for example, another way we consume mental energy, I will tell you, is being overly talkative, but without talking anything meaningfully. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says 5 things. He says useless talk, argumentation, debate, fault finding, and blasphemy. These are 5 expert ways of losing our energy by gossip. So nowadays, because of social media, explosion, there is so much of energy is lost in mutual interactions many times, and that also causes unhealthy comparison between students. Like, one student is asking another student about a third student. What do you think about this student? And everybody wants to check, am I looking good enough? And am I smart enough? What do people think of me? So the image consciousness is increasing too much. And because of this, we hurt ourselves and we hurt one another also very much. Because of gossip, global gossip we call it. So, yes, we need smartphone for educational purposes, sometimes for entertainment, playing some games, but at the same time, do I have control over my smartphone? Am I a slave of my smartphone, or is smartphone my very wonderful servant for me? So, it's our choice. Like, for example, say I have appointed a driver to drive my car. I am sitting behind. And I tell him, please take me to Harrisburg temple. And then I open my eyes and see he has taken me to a liquor shop. That means he is not in my control. He is taking me elsewhere. Similarly, our mind can be our faithful servant, or our mind can be a great enemy. It can become our master and trouble us. So, therefore, in youth, you have tremendous energy in your body, in your mind, and it is up to us, what choice we make in our life, how we utilize it to our best. So, you will see as human beings, we have certain abilities which animals don't have. For example, we can think morally. What is moral, what is immoral? What is ethical, what is not ethical? And you can also think about what is spiritual, what is material. You can understand the difference. These things are all understandable to human beings. So, and human beings also have one additional ability. You can observe yourself at a point outside of yourself. What kind of person am I? What do my friends think of me? What does my teacher think of me? What does my parents think of me? How I could modify my thought, word and deed in such a way that I'll be successful and I'll be happy and I can make others also happy. This kind of thought process human beings can do. It's called self-awareness, we call it. Self-awareness means when you do self-awareness, you can practice which is called as self-management, we call it. You know what is self-management? Self-management means I have been behaving in a certain way. Now I can modify my behavior. Hmm? How I was behaving before. Generally, I have been behaving in this way. But tomorrow onwards, I can modify the way I behave. That is called self-management. Lord Krishna teaches self-management in Bhagavad Gita 2.56 to 2.72 Bhagavad Gita. Because Sthita Prajna. So Arjuna is asking a question. If somebody is angry at him, how does he respond to someone showing anger or someone showing affection? Someone who is neutral, how does one respond? So in this way you will see that managed mind means it doesn't act instinctively. Now in youth, what is the relevance, I will tell you. See, when you all enter your age of 12 or 13, there is going to be one great change that comes in us. Your voice also will break, and your voice changes. You go from being a boy into an adult. Similarly, a little girl becomes a grown-up girl when she enters into 13, 14, like that. At that time, in our mind, we develop a desire to do something adventurous, something creative, something innovative, something new. That's one of the desires that comes in our mind. Another desire that comes is, let me have some independence. I just don't want to be told what I should be doing. I also have brain God has given me. Then I can do something creative, innovative. Why everybody has to tell me what I should be doing? So like that our mind feels. And also we want to do something thrilling in life. Like for example, skydiving, or surfing, or fast bike riding. So different people have different desires to do something great. And our mind gets into an achiever mode. Achiever mode means, I want to do something and show to the world. And it is not wrong. Like when I was a young boy, my father actually told me when I was about to enter the undergrad, he told me that, see, I will not give you the college fee, he said. Then I asked him, how will I pay for the fee? He said, I will give you 1,00,000 rupees. You start some business and earn while you learn, he said. And then you earn and you pay the fee, he said. So I thought what to do. Before that he had trained me in all this typing, English typing, Tamil typing, Hindi typing, lower, higher, high speed, everything I had finished there. So then I started a typewriting institute. I purchased some 4 typewriters and employed some people. I gave them projects to type, and I took some jobs. And I earned money, I gave them salary, and I had enough money to pay for the college also. So it was very thrilling. In the garden, he allotted us some section, me and my 3 sisters, He allotted area and told us that in this area you should grow, fruits and vegetables and flowers. So we were having our own area. I remember growing, brinjal and tomato and potato and carrot and everything. And also flowers also, different type of flowers. So when we sowed the seed, we had never seen, we personally sowed the seed, we watered it. When the plant germinates, and slowly the flowers come up, you feel so happy, It is my plant. I will show to my sisters, and sisters will show their plants to me. So we were very carefully putting fence and everything, preventing it from the goats and others. Very nicely we grew up. So he gave us projects to do, this type of different simple projects to do. And when we did that, we had the thrill of doing something wonderful. So in youth, we have to find out how we can enjoy life by harmless recreation, by which we don't hurt ourselves and we don't hurt others also. At the same time, something constructive, something productive, something which we enjoy. At the same time, we protect ourselves. And those children and teens, those who are not properly informed, well-informed, they get into dangerous habits. As you all know, you have seen people getting into smoking, drinking, drugs and all that. It's very deadly road it is, which causes enormous suffering. I once made a calculation. If anybody takes to these activities, like what we call as sin, this definition of sin is disobedience to God. That's the simple definition of sin. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 4 activities given. Abhyartidastadasmait sthanani kalaye dadau Dyutam panam striya suna yatra adharmas chatruvidaha. 4 things are said. It says that illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. So, I was just thinking, when people indulge in these activities, you see that the first thing is they have to spend money. Sinful deeds don't come free of cost. Correct? For liquor bottle or cigarette, people spend money or they don't spend money? Number one, you spend money. Number two, we get suffering by taking them. Like somebody is putting tobacco, they spoil their, they get ulcers in the mouth. Somebody takes cigarette, they get lungs cancer and all that. Somebody takes liquor, they get liver cirrhosis. All these dangerous things. So first thing is expenditure for purchasing the sinful activity. Second thing is pain. Correct, no? Pain in the body. Third thing is doctor's fee for the medicine, correct, no? And the fourth thing is often police is involved in these activities. If somebody is getting into this activity, for example, don't drink and drive, they say, no? When somebody drinks and drives, then they get accident, then police becomes involved after that. And fifth thing, as we have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam, that is post-death, beyond death. The superintendents of constables of Yama will come. That's the fifth thing. So 5 things are disadvantages. But I was thinking, for doing devotional service, many temples will give you a free bead bag also. Japa beads. Isn't it? And Bhagavad Gita also many temples give free if you want to read. Imagine if a boy or a girl goes to temple and says, I don't have any money, can you please give me a Bhagavad Gita? Mataji will give surely. She will happily give. She will gift a copy. That means for spiritual life you have to spend nothing and you don't have to suffer these 5 things. You can escape from these 5 things. So all of you are children of devotees. Because you are children of devotees, you have cultivated good habits and your mind is in your control. So therefore you have escaped these 5 things. Whereas many others, your colleagues in the school or other places, you see they are suffering this because they are not as fortunate as you. Because you got ambience provided by devotees, the beautiful temple here, and then your parents, your home ambience has saved you from these 5 things. See, I don't know to speak simple things. I speak very logically because I am from mechanical engineering background. I will think in an organized way and I'll speak in an organized way. If I am saying, I just don't bluff anything. I directly, whatever I spoke till now, I am giving you colorful examples I am giving you, and I am giving you concrete evidences of what I am speaking. So you will see that these are practically observable phenomena, what we are talking. Those who have not learned the art of managing their mind, they get into trouble. I heard one story. Once a man who was very much anxious, greedy to do many, many things in life, he went to a saint and said, my dear saint, can you bless me that, I have a lot of activities to do. I want some special blessing from you that I can do magical things, superhuman things. Then the Guruji said, I will give you a jinn. Take this jinn. Jinn means a kind of very big demon. I'll give you a jinn. Take him with you. And any amount of work you give, he will do it for you. But under one condition, he said, you should never keep him idle. If you keep him idle, he will swallow you, he said. And the man said, no, how can I keep him idle? I have so much work to do, he said. So he took the jinn with him home. Then he told, see, my ancestors have given me 1,000 acres land. He said, you plow all of the land and come. So the jinn went to plow. So morning to evening he was plowing. And the night he came and told, sir, job is done. He said, really? He said, okay, here in this 1 acre I am planning to build a beautiful house, make gardens and everything, so do it for me. So immediately within the next 2 days he completed the house. Big bungalow he made. He said, sir, house is ready, now you can come and live. He said. Man was wondering, what else can I give him? He gave him 3rd one, 4th one, 5th one, 4, 5 jobs he gave. After that he got exhausted. He never thought jinn is going to be so fast. Now the jinn was looking at him. Sir, are you going to give me a job or not? Either he asked, you had a big horn. So he saw that the jinn is about to pick him up and devour him. Not knowing what to do with the jinn, he ran to the saint and jinn followed him behind. So he told the sadhu, sir, all my job is done. Now I don't know what to do with this fellow. And the sadhu said, that's what I told you. You should not keep him idle. The sadhu said, I'll give you an idea. He gave him one ladder and told him, put this ladder in your house and ask the jinn to go up and come down. Keep on doing it. And whenever you have some work, you tell him the work. At other times, you should go up and come down. That is a standing assignment for him. So, when he did that, the jinn was going up, coming down, going up, coming down. And this fellow was peaceful because there was no danger of jinn swallowing him. So what is this ladder is none other than Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So in this way, if our mind is engaged in chanting, the mind tends to become completely calm. I'll tell you how. There is one animal in this world which is known for its hyperactivity and is very naughty animal. Anybody sees that animal, they will take a stick and drive it away. Can anybody guess what is that animal? We will first give chance to these two little girls. We will give chance first. Can you guess which is the animal which is naughty, mischievous, and you will drive it away if it comes with a stick? If they don't say, then I will give chance to anybody else. Younger ones will get first chance. You can try. You can. Any name. Don't feel shy. You can tell any name. Monkey, give her an applause. You are right. Exactly. Some people say so many things. In India, people say dog, people say cat, people say snake, and so many things. Here, I got the answer right in the beginning only I got. That is monkey actually. When I was in Vrindavan, I saw one corrugated roof, corrugated roof like this. So I saw one small monkey, this size monkey was going from the right side to left side. But when he was going in between, he was jumping up and down. And then he went. So I asked my godbrother, why don't the monkey peacefully walk on the roof? Why is it jumping? He said it's jumping because it's a monkey, he said. Because monkeys have to jump, they cannot just keep quiet. Even in tree also you will see, it will catch the tree branch and it will keep on shaking like this. You have seen that? They are very hyperactive creatures. On the other hand, you will find the cow is a very, very mild animal. You will see that. In Gujarat, they have these big cows. You have seen that? They call it as a gir cows, they call it. Even a small child can go and touch the neck of the cow, and the cow will be very mild. Although the body is very big, but the animal is a very mild animal, sattvic animal, sattva-guna animal. Now scientists have found out, if somebody goes and caresses the neck of the cow, their hyperactivity can be reduced. Now there are practical experiments have proven that. Therefore many are going to Goshala in India nowadays, especially IT engineers, they are going. So, now I was telling you about the monkey. Although the monkeys are very hyperactive, there is one monkey who is sitting very calmly. Anybody has seen which is that monkey? Who knows? Anybody? Who said Hanuman? Who said? Very good, very good. He gave the answer. He gave the correct answer. Hanuman. So Hanuman is calm because he is chanting Ram Nam. That is the secret. So now, how is it by chanting Hare Krishna Nam, our mind becomes calm? What is the scientific mechanism? One may want to know. There is one David Bryan Wolf who did a thesis on, doctorate thesis he did on the chanting. He took some university students, a big sample of students, and then they conducted the experiment of chanting Hare Krishna. To put it in a very simple manner, I'll tell you what is the secret of this cleansing that happens. See, our Bhagavad Gita talks about three things: body, mind, soul. So, the soul is the real personality. And he is given two equipments, mind and body. Now the mind is like a hard disk where you store your desires. And the body is like servo motors, which you exercise your desires. For example, say I have a desire to play piano, for example. I store my desire in the mind. And then when I get actual piano, I play it with my hands. So the body is given for exercising the desire. And the mind is given for storing the desire. Is it clear? Yeah. So the soul is given these two equipments. And the problem is not in the soul. All of you sitting here, you are all divine beings. Everyone is completely spiritual, completely pure. There is not even an iota tinge of bad element in you. This is the beauty of the Vedic knowledge. The Vedas say that nobody is bad. Everybody is good. But we are enveloped by bad. Just like, imagine if one of the visitors, is wearing a nasty smelling socks, for example. They come in, immediately everybody will plug the nose. They will say, look at that fellow, the stinking fellow. The fellow is not stinking. What is stinking? Socks is stinking. So somebody very nicely, in a very gentlemanly way, go and tell him, sir, your sock seems to be not washed. Please, can you kindly release it outside and come? So he puts the socks outside, washes his feet under the tap, and he comes in. Then nobody has problem with the smell. Similarly, soul is pure, but the mind is like a socks over the soul. That is carrying that impurity. And the mind has many crooked desires, like Duryodhana, for example, was envious of Pandavas. He was greedy for their land. He wanted to insult Draupadi. So he wanted to kill Bhima, and all these things you will see. Such polluted mind he had. So all of us also, it's not that our mind is totally bad. Our mind has good scripts, bad scripts, both. So we can ask ourselves, am I selfish or am I selfless? One time I asked the children that, say, I give you 4 buns. In 2 buns, cherry is there. Other 2 buns, the cherry has fallen away. Only depression is there in the bun. So I am giving 4 buns to you, and I am telling you that 3 buns you give away and 1 bun you can eat. So which one will you keep? I asked. So some children were honest. They said, cherry one, I'll keep 1 for myself. And the other 3, I'll give it to other guys. They said. So then the other children I asked, some children were thinking children. One boy told me that I will cut the cherry into half, and I'll put in all the 4. Each of the children will get half cherry with the bun. Another child said that I'll make an announcement. How many of you guys like cherry? How many of you don't like? If 2 of them say we don't like cherry, we'll give them the bun without cherry to them. And we too will take the one with cherry, either he said. But all these thoughts I appreciate very much. Why? Because these 2 children at the end, they considered about the others also should be, given the opportunity. Not that I selfishly eat myself. Similarly, I asked another question. In India, in the train, when people enter the train, everybody wants to sit in one place. Anybody knows which place they want to sit? Window seat. Correct, no? So I asked one boy, you and your sister are going, in the train, and you all have 1 seat only. The other seat belongs to somebody else. So where will you sit? I will sit in the window, he said. But what about your sister? She's crying. What can I do? I got the seat first. He said. Then I asked the sister, okay, in case you got the seat first, what you will do? The sister, little sister, she said, I will sit half an hour in the window and then I'll give my brother half an hour. She said. I told her brother, see, you learn from your sister now, isn't it? See, you are so cruel. See, your little sister is more intelligent than you see. So, why I am saying, in this way, we all can check, am I selfish or am I selfless? Am I arrogant or am I humble? Am I greedy or am I satisfied? Am I angry or am I peaceful? Am I rigid like a brittle bottle or am I flexible like a Bisleri bottle? Isn't it? So we can ask this question to ourselves. We can watch our mind, how our mind is functioning. So if mind is impure, it will have all these bad qualities which I was telling you. If mind is becoming purified by the chanting, actually what does the chanting of Hare Krishna do? When Krishna is seeing that we are, Prabhupada said the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is, you all please repeat after me what Prabhupada says, I will tell you. Oh Lord, purify me, elevate me, accept me. Like that he says. That's the meaning of this. So actually our mind is purified by Krishna, is called as Manohar. You heard this famous song? Where is the Mridanga? Mama mana mandire rahane se de Krishna murare Sri Krishna murare Mama mana mandire rahane se de Krishna murare Sri Krishna murare Krishna murare Sri Krishna murare Krishna murare Sri Krishna murare Bhakti priti mala chandan Bhakti Tume niyo hai niyo Chittanandan Jivana marana tava puja niveda Sundara hai manahari Yasonanda Kumar Arnanda Kumar Have prema pradeepe arati tomar Nayana yamuna jarayari bar Tumhara virahe giridhari Vandana gane Tava bhajok jivan Krishna murare Sri Krishna murare Vandana gane Tava bhajok jivan Krishna murare Sri Krishna murare Krishna murare Sri Krishna murare Sri Krishna murare. In this song he is saying Mama mana mandire raha, saying, oh Krishna, please come and live in the temple of my mind, he is saying. How long I want you to come and live? He is saying, raha nishi din, day and night, for all time to come and live in my mind, he is saying. And then he is saying, what I will do for you? Bhakti priti mala chandan, tumi niyo hai niyo, chittanandan, he is saying. Oh delighter of the hearts, I will offer you my devotion, my love, bhakti priti, and mala and chandan. I will offer you garland and sandalwood pearl. Tumi niyo he niyo chittanandan. Take please Krishna, take. delighter of the hearts, he's saying. And then he's saying, Jivana Marana Tava Puja Nivedan. In life and death, I will continue worshipping, which means right now I will do this worship, and even after my death, I will never forget you. In the next life also, I'll continue my devotion service to you. Like that he's saying. Jivana Marana Tava Puja Nivedan. Sundara He Manahari. Oh, beautiful one. Oh, beautiful Lord, you are you stealer of the hearts. Sundara He Manahari. Man means mine. Hari means one who steals away, correct, no? Therefore, some boys wear a t-shirt, I lost my heart in. Because you don't give your heart to somebody. If you love somebody, they take away your heart. Suddenly you find there's a hole, the heart is gone. They're taken away. Therefore, they write, I lost my heart in Vrindavan. Correct, no? So, Sundara He Manahari. Oh, stealer of the hearts. Like that he's saying. And then he's saying, Yeso Nanda Kumar, R Nanda Kumar. Oh, son of Nanda come, please son of Nanda come. He's asking. Have prema pradeepe arti tomar. I will offer you a lamplight of love. And then he's saying, oh, my eyes are showering with Ganga and Yamuna. Type of tears are coming in your great separation. So it's the Bhaktivinoda Thakur's beautiful song it is. So the point is, when you chant Hare Krishna in this mood, oh Lord, purify me, uplift me, accept me. You are supreme, I am insignificant. I have fallen into this ocean. I heard a little story. Once an ant somehow, which was going on the branch of a tree, it fell in a river. And the ant started trembling in the water because it was drowning. There was no scope of the ant coming out of the river water. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings in one song. Anadi karma phale padiba varnava jale taribare nade ki upai. He's telling, my dear Lord, I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. I don't know how to get out of it. Like that the ant was also fallen. At that time one dove, you know dove? It's sitting in the top of the branch of a tree. It took pity on the ant. It plucked one leaf and threw it down. So as soon as the leaf came and fell, the ant saw the leaf and boarded the leaf like a boat. And the leaf went this way, that way in the waves of the river. At last it reached the shores. And the ant's life was saved. Then the ant could again climb up the tree, go up to the top. So in this little story I told you, who is the ant? That's like myself. And what is the river? It is the ocean of birth and death in this world. And who is the dove? Srila Prabhupada and pure devotees. And what is the leaf? That is the methods they have given us. For example, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, coming to the temple, being an association of devotees, leading a pure lifestyle. So that is actually the board they have given us. You board the board, then you can again climb up the tree and you can be safe again, go back to Godhead. So mind becomes purified by Krishna's grace. Krishna is called as Manohar. Yeah. Therefore he says, Man Mana, he says, think of me by devotional service. So one big plus point that I see all of you have is you are in devotee association. And the association is very positive. And at home also and in the temple also, you all are in very good Sangha. That is a great blessing for you. And this protective ambience which you have is very rare in this world, which you are all getting. So mind can be very easily purified by chanting Hare Krishna, studying Bhagavad Gita, and living in the company of devotees and avoiding the sinful activities, and keeping our life simple, basically simple. And not, especially in the teenage, not to get carried away by the current of instinctive pleasures that are very flickering. They appear to be attractive, but they will all dry up. Just like if you see a fish, example is given in Bhagavatam. Once there was a fish in a puddle of water. There was another fish in the puddle of water also. But that fish, what he did, he saw a river was flowing. He jumped from here to there. And he told this fish also, hey, you also come. Just jump, because this river is going to ocean. And river itself has abundant water. But if you go to ocean, there will never be dearth of water. So ocean is like spiritual world. And the river is like the path of devotion service. And to go from the puddle of water to river means going from our petty sense gratification to the austerities of spiritual life, like chanting Hare Krishna, everything. But that requires giving up our comfort zone and jumping into that river, correct, no? But the other fish was lazy. He said, why should I jump? I am already happy. Here there is water, that's enough for me. But then what happened? When the rainy season ended, the autumn season started, Sharad Ritu. At that time, the sun became hot in the sky. It started evaporating the puddles of water. So what would have happened to this fish who was living in the puddle of water? When the water is evaporated, poor fish had to die. Whereas the fish who jumped into the river, he reached the ocean, and he was jumping up and down like dolphin happily in the ocean. He never had dearth of water. Therefore, in Gita, Lord Krishna says, intelligence means to connect to the spiritual life and experience ocean of happiness. And material life means to get stuck in the small puddle of water which gives little pleasure, instinctive pleasures, but then eventually that will dry up. When it dries up, we become disoriented and foolish and crazy and mad, and we take to all kinds of bad habits, correct now? So therefore we should, this is the age for you to jump from the materialistic, sinful lifestyle that many people are leading to the virtuous, pure lifestyle that Srila Prabhupada awarded us. And you have that ability, you have the facility, you have the ambience, you have the good association, and you can very easily harness the mind, power of your mind. And instead of making your mind like a flood, you make it like a dam. Yeah, you can make it very powerful. Then your mind will be truly powerful. So, what is the goal of spirituality? The goal of spirituality is heart transformation, not only information. We are living in an age of information explosion, but the information is not modifying the mindset of man. You can see there is a war going on now between Russia and Ukraine. Even after getting a doctorate degree, man is throwing bombs at each other and killing one another. And that's what he has learned by his education. But true education should teach us to become compassionate to other living beings, to treat everybody like a brother and sister in Lord's creation, which is, Prabhupada actually did such a miraculous thing. I was in Calcutta some years ago. 120 countries had come all over the world. They all brought their flags. It was, I think, 50th year of ISKCON, Golden Jubilee. So I also joined that group. They went up to Victoria Terminus in Calcutta. Every country was carrying their flag and they were all chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So they had a big Maha mantra in the front they were carrying. So one sannyasi was speaking. He said, see, Srila Prabhupada has brought all the flags of the world under one umbrella of Hare Krishna mantra. Selling the Golden Jubilee year. Whereas we find other countries are fighting tooth and nail for land and for gold and for property. They're killing one another foolishly. Whereas here Prabhupada united the world. Whereas modern day man with his doctorate degree and getting, such big degrees, he is creating bombs to kill one another. So this is a practical proof you can see. Prabhupada did it, and he showed how the whole world can be united under the banner of, Krishna's names. So you all are the future of this temple. Anusaya Mataji has a great expectation that you all are now, you are like flowers now. You are all like blossoming flowers, and you will do great things in your life, especially in being a good example. Today I met Aditya, such a good boy. He's in Penn State, second year now. He's studying, and right from the time when he was 1 year old boy, he got Krishna consciousness. And he has grown in this community. Anusaya Mataji was the one to introduce him to Krishna consciousness. Subsequently, he has been faithfully following his parents. His father and mother are setting such a nice example. Now he has come to the stage of a college student, and he's so well cultured and well behaved, and taken advantage of this association. He is one of the senior-most congregation kids here. So I am very happy about that, because those who are in the senior-most position should be very exemplary. If they are very exemplary, many others will emulate their model. Very good model. So I am very thankful to Anusaya Mataji for giving me the opportunity to be with all of you today. I can take some 5-10 minutes question answers, or any reflections, or anybody want to speak out their realization or something, they can do. Yeah. Or they can correct me also if I spoke anything. If somebody is upset with me, why you said this? I am a youth preacher from India. America is a new place for me. I am like a toddler. People say, don't say this, don't say that. So many things people say. I don't know what to say where, but whatever is in my heart, I just spoke out.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavad Pranam. Thank you for wonderful class, Prabhuji. For me, it's like a bucket list coming true. I've been seeing your videos on YouTube for last 5-10 years, like since 2013-14. So yours and Gaurang Prabhu lecture, many of the classes from Prerna Festival, especially from Mumbai Chowpatty. So it's really a good class. So my question is the COIF, CEOIF you explained, right? It's from the context of the youth. So I could relate to it very much to myself also, even as a parent. But when we are dealing with kids, right, you still want to have some control, some expectations, some opinion, right? And if that doesn't fall in place, and you would still get angry, right? I mean, at some point. So, and you cannot let kids do what they want, or like you would still like to have some control, some expectations, and also how you manage that.
So there are 4 types of parents. Like one parent is called neglectful parents. Neglectful parents means they just leave the children aside and they are concerned about their own sense gratification. There are parents like that. Irresponsible parents. And the second type of parents are very permissive parents, like Dhritarashtra to Duryodhana. He was overly lenient, too much permissive, He let him, he gave him such a long rope so that Duryodhana can hang himself. Correct, no? That is too much lenient parents. Then there are authoritarian parents like Hiranyakashipu, overly micromanaging and controlling. Prahlad cannot even sneeze or, cough also. Everything has to take permission. Too much control. Correct now? Authoritarian parents like that. So the permissive is one extreme, and the other extreme is authoritarian. And neglectful is practically like Uttanapada and Suruchi. They never cared that the child is going to forest. Neglectful parents. Correct now? 5-year-old boy is going to forest, there is no one to stop him. He is so attached to his wife, he is just not even bothering about that. But authoritative parents means, these parents have a very good blend of courage versus considerate, boldness versus sensitivity, polite versus firm. Like a mother tells a child, my dear child, see now it's 4 o'clock, by 6 o'clock we should be back at home. 6 to 8 you are going to do your homework and studies and everything. 4 to 6 you can play. And the boy also tells the mother, Mom, 4 to 6 I'll play, but you should not interfere. If you come in between, then I will extend my playtime. So he puts also condition, and she agrees also. These are called assertive parents. Assertive means you are not aggressive like Hiranyakashipu, and you are not passive like Dhritarashtra. You are assertive like Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev made his 100 sons sit down and gave very good upadesh to them. You will see that. Suniti also gave very good advice to her son, Dhruva, proper advice she gave. So, similarly, Swayambhava Manu gave a very good advice to Dhruva when Dhruva was killing the Yakshas. So these are, superiors who are very, very well behaved. It's not that they were overly lenient or they were not overly aggressive. They actually were making the combination of these two things. That's what, it's not only with dealing with children, even in our life and our dealing with others also. What is the meaning of aggressive? Aggressive means I break your tooth. And passive means I allow you to break my tooth. Assertive means I allow you to keep your tooth, I keep my tooth. So assertive is the best thing in life always. Yeah. Thank you. Like, Yudhishthira is too lenient. Even when Jayadratha had taken away Draupadi in his chariot in the forest, later on Bhima and Arjuna attacked him and brought Draupadi back. Yudhishthira Maharaj made Jayadratha sit down and nicely preached to him for 1 hour. So you should treat other men's wives like a mother and everything. And then he allowed him to go. Yudhishthira is too lenient. Huh? And on the other hand, Bhima is extremely aggressive. Yudhishthira told Bhima, see, you capture Jayadratha and bring him to me, but don't kill him, he said. So he sent Bhima and Arjuna together. So Bhima and Arjuna went and chased after him and caught him. Immediately Bhima was preparing his hand to attack Jayadratha. His goal was to hit Jayadratha's head and sever it from the body. That time Arjuna reminded him, hey, brother told us to bring him alive. And Bhima said, oh, sorry, I forgot, he said. He is very aggressive. So he is very aggressive, he is very passive, and Arjuna is assertive. Therefore, Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. You will see that. We need to be assertive in life in every situation.
In a practical situation, so if we give the time of 4 to 6, and the kids they didn't turn up at 6.
Yeah. So he didn't keep this thing. No, generally intelligent parents, what they will do, okay, you didn't listen to me, you did what you want. So when the Diwali comes, the special gift, you will only get half the price of the gift. You will not get the full gift. If I promised you say I promised you a $500 gift, now I'll give you only $250 gift. Because you didn't keep your promise, so I can't keep my promise too. You should know exactly where to, how to deal, because for everything, for everybody something is important. When you throw sand in that, they will understand, oh, now I have to be obedient also. Thank you.
Prabhuji, thank you for your precious lecture today. And I'm very new to the ISKCON community. And am I very new to Krishna? Well, probably not, because I grew up mommy taking care of more Krishna than me. So I'm familiar with the Krishna and the principles around it. But one of the key questions that I have right now at this stage of my life is, how do I balance spiritual life and material life? I mean, I do have to work. I need to pay the mortgage. So I need to be spiritual at the same time. I need to take care of the family. What is the secret behind it?
You can keep a very simple formula. Morning for Krishna, daytime for profession, evening for family. You follow the simple formula. Our life is like a tripod. All the three are important. If you don't do one of the three, it will fall away. Okay. It will topple. So why am I saying morning for Krishna? Most people give morning for family. And the spiritual life they put in the evening, which doesn't happen properly. Imagine, for example, you chanted 2 rounds in the morning, and then the household chores took over. Then evening you come back, you have to chant 14 rounds. Head will be spinning, and it will go till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. The next day morning you get up late, and then again the spiritual practice don't happen properly. We become angry with family members. That makes the problem more complicated. And you go to office, you carry the home to office, office to home. So therefore, the best thing is put Krishna first. Putting Krishna first is like putting 1 first. And then the other string of zeros will carry value. So therefore, it only morning for Krishna, daytime for profession, evening for family. You try this, and I have told this to many families, and they are very happy now, many of them. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Very nice lecture. Excellent, insightful stories that connect the real life with, the spiritual thought process. One aspect while you were talking more about the mind and the anger side of it, very good depiction of how you should kind of help yourself, the tools, the CEO, IF. Right?
Yeah.
One another challenge I stumble with, especially when it comes to, teenagers or young youth part of it, is like you have anger interfering, right, in your life and draining you. There is also one element, maybe a cousin of that, which is impulse. How do you help them? Or what are some of the tools or mechanisms that you would suggest that the kids or the youth are able to be mindful of stepping into that minefield of impulse?
Yeah. One thing is the age between 13 to 20. In that age, there are many opportunities for getting into wrong track. So one of the things, the affection for the parents is one thing that deters them. They fear that I don't want to let them down. You know, I want to, I don't want to create a scene and put my parents in trouble. So they have, because the affection some children, fear, that is one thing. Another thing, the sanskars they got between the age of 1 to 12. Like for example, some children will not even touch a cigarette, for example, because if they are brought up very well. So, like one time me and my little sister, my elder sister, and I was smaller. We both were going in the market. One man called me, one man with a big moustache called me, come here. And he gave me 2 rupees in the hand and said, cross the road and bring me a BD packet, he said. I took the money. But my sister, she was also a child. I mean, I was this much, she was little grown up. She said, hey, you can't afford to buy a cigarette packet and give him, she said. I asked her, see, I'm not going to smoke. I'm just buying and giving. She said, no, karma will come, she said. So I said, how karma will come to me? Yes. She said, because you are helping him in his sinful life. I don't know in that age how she was so intelligent. You should not help anyone to perform sinful life. Then I said, but he has given me the money, what I should do? She said, you should give it back, she said. So I was thinking, if I give back, if he slaps, what will happen? So, and my sister cannot run like me. I can run very fast. So then I told my sister, you go to the end of the street, I will join you. So I sent her ahead, and I crossed the road and I came back. This man was sitting in one place. He turned and asked me, where is the packet? Give me. I put his 2 rupees in his hand and ran away. He was shouting, hey, 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 he was shouting. So, but why I am telling you this, because although she was also not a very grown-up child, imperceptibly they learned the good sanskaras, correct, no? And they know what is good karma, what is bad karma, we should do it, we should not do it. Like now one of my sister's son, studying in Canada now. So now he's standing Christian rounds now. So in their home they have a Gaurnitai, So he dresses Gaurnitai very beautifully and makes ornaments very nicely and puts very nice backdrop and everything. He plays on keyboard. He will be just sitting with the Gaurnitai and doing kirtan 1 hour, 2 hours like that. So he and his sister, they will be doing. So I have seen him right from the childhood. I have seen my sister would write one sloka on the board daily. And she would tell him to memorize. Some days he will memorize on the same day, otherwise he will take 2 more days. And then she would rub the sloka and write 1 more like that. Like that he has memorized hundreds of slokas now, like that. So memorizing the slokas, memorizing the stotrams, playing on keyboard and singing for the Lord and chanting the holy name. So he picked up all these things. Now very naturally his mind flows towards the pure things now. When the COVID time came, he joined some courses and he learned some bhakti courses he joined. So the idea is, you as parent, you can give them a spiritual taste from between 1 to 12. And after that, they connect more with peers. If they get good peer association, like there is one Amarendra Prabhu's brother, Arjun Saka Prabhu, he is very much appreciated by many youth kids in America. When I travel, I come to understand that. That's because they both are born in a devotee family. Amarendra Prabhu and his brother Arjun Saka Prabhu. So because they are such good devotee children, they are also very appealing to other children of their, peers and age group. Once the children cross 13 and all, then they feel that the parents and the children have sometimes a generation gap. They will connect more with peers. So then you need to give them good peer association after that. So like Prahlad had peers who are demons' children. But the demons' children got such a good peer like Prahlad. They all became devotees. And they started dancing also, correct? In the Gurukula. That too, it was whose Gurukul? It was Chandamaraka's Gurukul. Even there they became devotees because of good peer association. They didn't listen to Chandamaraka, they didn't listen to their parents, they listened to Prahlad. So same principle. So if we can give, so what I would do, any good boy or a good girl, very, very cultured and very strictly, sincerely practicing, I used to tell the parents, you make your son or daughter the role model and start a Sunday school program. So that's like one Prahlad or one devotee, then many others will pick up very easily by that. And then once the child starts getting higher taste in spiritual life, then that they will not act impulsively. They will think and speak, think and act. That maturity, because Sattva Guna gives happiness. If they lead a sattvic life, once they get the taste of that happiness, then the gross sense gratificating activities are not of no very great attraction. That becomes very insignificant. Yeah.
And just a quick follow-up. What would be your advice to the youth to overcome when they get into this situation of impulse?
See, this impulsive thing comes in varieties of ways. For example, tomorrow there is examination, your boy is playing video games. You ask him, why are you playing video games? I'm getting tension, so I'm playing video games. So there are some children say like that, instead of studying for the exams. Gauranga Prabhu used to say that two people have no tension. One is who has already studied everything very well, and another one who has never touched the book. He knows I am going to anyway fail, you know. Isn't it? But all other kids in between are very much in tension. You see, yeah. So, one of the impulsive thing leads them to, neglect the studies and get into a play mode. Nowadays there are so many video games which are maddening video games. Grand Theft Auto or Blue Whale and PUBG and all these things. Children, when they get into it, and they are not able to come out of it. They get hooked in that. And at the same time, bad habits is one thing I was telling as a part of my lecture. Because there is a curiosity to try out. Let me see what it is. But the problem is, in that curiosity, one can get lost also. And therefore, parents are concerned, children are confident. So that is the problem. When you are very concerned and when they are super confident that, no, I will just give a try, I just want to know what it is. So therefore, there's a saying in English, curiosity kills the cat. That's a saying. So how will they not exercise the curiosity? It's not wrong on the part of the parents to be watchful, to be concerned, to offer them guidance, correction. But that should be done in a platform of affection. The children should be able to perceive the affection. My parents are very affectionate and they are concerned about me. I don't want to let them down. That kind of thing. Otherwise, if parents do Rudra Tandav or Bhadrakali Tandav, children, they're splitting their hair, my Lord, they'll get nightmares. Correct, no? Because sometimes the concern of the parents comes out in that way. Correct, no? Certainly, it's teenage can be like a flood or like a dam, as I said. Both are possible. One secret of passing through the teenage successfully is giving them super engagement. Don't keep them one moment free. I saw my father doing it for me. Like he told me to go to Sanskrit classes. I went to Balabodh, Prarambha, Pravesh and Covid. 4 exams I finished in 3-4 years. Then I thought it's all done. Then he told, go for the Hindi classes, he said. Beginning with Prathamik, Madhyama, Rashtrabhasha, Praveshika, like that. There are Dakshina Bharata Hindi Prachar Sabha. 9 exams I finished in 4-5 years. I thought it's all done. Then he told me to go for typing. Go for Hindi typing, English typing, Tamil typing. Lot of, he kept me so busy in teenage, there was no time to do anything else. Yeah. And I used to think, why is he engaging me in all these things? It's, what is the need, I was thinking. But now I am realizing, in a day I send 50-60 replies to mails nowadays. And I can type at 120 words per minute. Either I can type. So that typing is helpful for me now, responding to mails. Similarly, Hindi I learned. Now in Pune, half my lectures I give in Hindi now. So therefore, we should give our children some constructive engagements, which will be helpful to them in future. Also, he was an English professor, my father. So he used to give me 5 books to read, like Charles Dickens, Oliver Goldsmith, sometimes even Shakespeare, Jonathan Swift. These kind of books he would give. I would read them. Of course, he had a library of 5,000 books, but he won't allow me to touch anything. He will say, I will give you. So I finished the books and give him, and he'll give me 5 more. So he kept me engaged. Hundreds of books he made me read like that. So reading taste, if some children get that is very engaging, and we can, if they read books which will help them develop values and character, it's very good. So some of the girls, they go for Bharatanatyam, some of them like singing Carnatic music or Hindustani music, they go for singing. Some of them like painting. They like to learn painting. Hours and hours. One of my sister's daughter, she does a special type of painting. She learnt almost 4 or 5 years, So in this way, these are all very constructive engagements. Actually, they also get a chance and a platform to perform also in America, correct, no? Imagine if one of the girls learnt Bharatanatyam in 7 years and since she's doing Arangetram. In America, many people like to watch. They can actually do many such programs. So they have to do something constructive. Instead of sitting and watching TV for a long hours, they can go for swimming or something, which is more helpful for the body, correct, no? But if you keep them unengaged or underengaged, then idle man's mind is a devil's workshop. If you know idle time. This is one good thing. Our youth kids in America, they are all very fond of kirtans, which is very good. Sometimes in Kirtan Mela, they do 4 hours, 5 hours kirtans also. It's such a wonderful engagement it is. Very absorbing, it's very good. All right, Prabhu? Now it's getting late also, 7:30. I also have to go back. So thank you all for your rapt attention and enthusiastic participation. Thank you, Mataji. And this is my first time. Another time, I come twice in a year. I come. When I am coming to iFast, I can connect and try to come here, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you let Kunti or Madhavacharya, they will definitely connect with me. Yeah. Kunti has my contact, my God family in Maryland, so we would love to have you over again, Prabhu. And we want to thank you so much for such a wonderful class, amazing topics, practical, real, day-to-day examples that we all can relate to, and I'm sure all the kids and the parents can definitely relate to. Wonderful questions, and we want to request devotees that if anyone would like to contribute and help, any monetary donation towards Radhe Shyam Prabhu's preaching mission, and it's completely youth. Please, be kind enough to give him something if you can. And one thing that I realized that I forgot to mention,
I wanted one thing towards the end.
Yes, Prabhu.
The questions were asked mostly by parents. So I wanted one of the youth kids from this side and one of the Matajis to say some concluding points based on what they heard today.
I love it. Absolutely. Yeah. Do you want to pick or do you want them to volunteer?
They can raise the hand.
Okay.
They can say some reflection or what.
Then I'm going to pick if you guys are just going to watch over there. They're used to my heaviness, so. Yeah, they will do that in the cold. Jit Mitra Govindadas. You are the Sunday school teacher. Oh, good. Rohin, perfect. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class. I really learned a lot. Just a quick question on since a lot of people, a lot of youth right now, they're in the college and the high school years, including myself. So there's a lot of expectations on yourself to do well, and because of that, you try to get taste for your spiritual life. But what happens is because of all these expectations, your mind gets diluted. So how are you supposed to work with that?
Yeah, actually the academic pressure is a very great problem nowadays, and there are a lot of assignments being given nowadays. The colleges, schools give a lot of assignments. The pressure is so much in India, sometimes even children commit suicide sometimes in the colleges. And also, certainly, we should be able to handle the pressure. What I would suggest is 3 things are very valuable. Like if you are told to eat a watermelon, you cannot eat in one shot. But if you cut it into slices, you can eat bit by bit. Similarly, intelligent children, from the beginning of the year itself, they start reading the books ahead of the teacher. Bit by bit you read. For example, I am in chapter 2 now. Teacher is teaching chapter 1. By the time teacher comes to chapter 2, I am in chapter 3 already. So in the early part of the year, we should not waste. Most children actually, they waste for 5-6 months and then they start studying. And then the classroom attendance is not very valuable because we don't know what's going on in the class. So bit by bit, you complete all the subjects. Very nicely you study. Another thing is the peer association. Those who are good in academics, we can exchange their notes and we can give our notes to them, they can give their notes to us. So that kind of peer association of like-minded, like in our engineering college days when I was studying, we were 4 of us, the first 4 ranks will be within 4 of us only. One of us will be first, one will be second, because we were all living next to each other and we would exchange our notebooks, we'll come together and study some subjects. So if you associate with studious, boys who are very much enthusiastic in the academic field, then you are also likely to perform well. Otherwise, if a boy is going all the time for playing, then you also lose your taste for studies. So the peer association is important. And also, thirdly, role models. People who are already very smart, they may be either in your class or in one class above you, from whom you can take guidance, you can take help, you can take inspiration. So role model, inspiration, that gives us strength to do that activity vigorously. And peer association gives us encouragement. And making it to slices, that makes us very confident. Yes, it's not too big. It's possible to complete it like that. These are some practical tips I suggest to people when they want to bring in any good habit. This will be helpful. All right. Thank you. From that side, Mataji, one mic.
Who would like to volunteer on the women's side?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
It made sense what I spoke today?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please accept my humble obeisances. I'll go to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, you talked about role models multiple times. So my question is, at least my observation is that oftentimes you'll see role models, or role models themselves will experience that they have to put up a facade of being perfect because they have the pressure of younger ones looking up to them. And on the other hand, they want to be transparent and vulnerable to show them that they're not perfect. Nobody is perfect. So how do you balance being a responsible role model, but being also somewhat transparent without losing your credibility as a role model?
Good question, very good question. You see, if we are struggling to be perfect, it is as good as being perfect. Because the Shastras talk about we should be perfect. If we cannot be perfect, the next best thing to being perfect is struggling to be perfect, striving to be perfect. So if we are striving to be perfect, then you can also talk about it to others. Say, for example, I am striving to be humble, for example. Then I can give a class on humility and say that I heard from my spiritual master, Trinada Pishunichana, he told that we should be humble. I am also trying to be humble. And I found that being arrogant is not very helpful. I can speak such kinds of things because I am in the right track and I am making an effort to achieve that quality. And I am not speaking in a state of pretense as if I have achieved it, So we should be endeavoring for perfection. So when the problem comes, when we pose ourselves to be somebody great, but behind the screen we are flawed in our character and we fail to even make an endeavor also. We don't make the effort at all. But we only are interested in telling others you should be doing. Then the others will see a very big difference between, so they will feel that we are not walking our talk. Correct, no? Even if we are struggling to walk our talk, people will appreciate it. They will say that this Prabhuji, this Mataji, at least they are making an effort. They will appreciate that. So, and regarding being honest, I would say that we all should be honest to our mentor. And like I can go to my mentor and then reveal my heart and take help, that I am struggling with this particular thing. I am a great so-called preacher. I am myself a toddler in this. I am struggling. Please help me. And they will give us some pointers for application, by doing which we can come out of that limitation. And you are not expected to go around telling everybody your shortcomings, especially to equals and juniors, because if you are going to go around and tell everybody, then that may be more damaging to their faith also. On the other hand, you are taking help from a superior who is capable of uplifting you and giving you some pointers for working on it, and you are getting better and better at it. Correct, no? Yeah. So sometimes, like one brahmachari preacher came to Pune. I had sent him to one of the student centers. And then he told the students about what all Leela he did in his college days. You know, you know. And then later on how he became a Hare Krishna devotee or something like that. So the boys got shocked because their minds became absorbed with this so-called devotee in his college days was, like a playboy with so many girls, and now later on he gave up everything and then became a devotee and all that. So they didn't like the whole thing. Their minds became putrefied instead of getting purified. So when the boys, some of them came and spoke to me, then I told this preacher that, Prabhu, in the name of being honest, you have polluted their minds. That was unnecessary. You should reveal your problems and these things to your superiors and take help, I told him. Now that you have come out of the dirt, you have come out of the gutter, you are already under the shower, so no, don't talk about this everywhere. Like that I told him. So, yes, we have to be naked in front of God. We have to be thoroughly transparent, honest, and be people of integrity before our superiors, and we should take help and work on those things. And while dealing with equals and juniors, we don't pose like a pure devotee. We tell them that you are also working, I am also working, we all are growing devotees. And I am also making an effort to practice. We can say like that. That should be perfectly fine. But your question was good, very good question. Very honest and good question. This question is such an important question. For our senior devotees, we had a half-a-day workshop on this. Just the same topic what you said now. So that they can know how to deal with different types of people when we are dealing with people. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. And one thing that I forgot to mention early in my introduction, which I apologize, is His Grace Radhe Shyam Prabhu is a senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami. So we thank you so much for, we thank Radhanath Swami for passing on this amazing mission to his disciples. And we thank Radhe Shyam Prabhu and his family for sharing what he was taught by his own spiritual master. That's a whole sweetness of the Parampara system. So thank you so much, Prabhu. And we hope that you'll visit us again.
Thank you.
And I will keep in touch with IFAST, and Mathura is there. We'll definitely connect and would love to have you again, Prabhu. Thank you. His Grace Radhe Shyam Prabhu ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Ki
Jai.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Oh Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Oh Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Oh Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. Namaste Nara Shringaya. Oh Namaste Nara Shringaya. O Prahlade Lade Dahine. O Prahlade Lade Dahine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshahar. Shilatankana Kalaye. Ito Nashingo, Pareto Nashingo. Yato Yato Yamita To Nashingo. Bahe Nashingo, Hidaye Nashingo. Bahe Nashingo, Hidaye Nashingo. Bahe Nashingo, Hidaye Nashingo. Narashingamade Sharanam Prapade. O Narashingamade Sharanam Prapade. Tavakara Kamalavare Nakhan Adbhuta Shingam Dalitam Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Vakara Kamala Nak Tavakara Kamala Varenakhan Adhuta Shingam Lalitam Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Vakara Kamala Varenakhan Adhuta Shingam Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nashingare, 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 Jaya Nashingare. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva. O Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Haribo. Gaur Pramanande Haribo, Bhakti Vigna Vinashak, Lakshmi Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Samveda Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Pramanande. Mahaprasade.
Prasade Govinde. What's to be? No, I have to start from the beginning. Ma Prasade Govinde. Namo Brahmane Vaishnave. Savatun Ratun Rajan. Vishnu Sarve Jayate. Sharirar Vidyajar. Jodhindriye Taheka. Jodhindriye Tahek. Jive Fele Vesasa Gore. Fele. Taramati Jivayati. Lobarmo Sudharmati. Akil Jita Ka Tira Samsare. Krishna Varadaya Mai, Krishna Varadaya, Hari Vara Jiva Jai, Swapashada Vedena Bhai, Say Anamita Pao, Radha Krishna Go Nagao, Premir the Koshi, Chirani Dai, Premir the Koshi, Jani Mai, Jani Tai, Jani Tai, Jani Mai, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mahaprasadam ki Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shyam. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Prasadam is served downstairs.